Hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for the hype train, by the way. Jesus. Ren, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. That's huge. Next, thank you for 26 months. Adieu, thank you for 32 months. Comrade, thank you for gifting a sub to Housemaster. Derpington, thank you for 10 gifted subs. Glorpus Link, tier 3 for 33 months. Huge. Viking tier 3 for 26 months. Thank you so much. Sharky, 4 months. QDP with the 40 months. Zen with the 5. JT Hungry with a tier 3 for 4 months. CMC with 30 months. Pili with 20 months. I'm scrolling. Sorry, so many dailies to scroll through. Doo shit with the 39. Primate with the 6 months of Prime. Thank you all. Thank you all. If there are any more, I can't scroll back anymore, so that's all I've seen. But thank you all so much. I appreciate it. I do. Sorry, my cat keeps staring at me.
Over this break, are you going to decide on what to destroy next? Please destroy Mars. That should show those arrogant Martians, especially that Marvin fella.
No, Marvin Martian was always my favorite. Actually, my mom really likes Marvin Martian. And it's very rare to find any merchandise with him on it, but if we ever do, I always get it for my mom. Because she really likes Marvin Martian. He's the best. He's simply the best. He is a minor character. Yeah, he's not really like a big merch character, you know? Like, people know him, but they're not really clamoring, you know? But he's cool. We like him. Anyway, anywho, I wanted to mention, because it was just posted about, Cheeky has a new soap. Ooh. They're gonna do some things. I don't know. Actually, I'll check our Discord. I'll check the Cheeky Discord. I don't know if this one is limited or not. If this is just there forever, or if they just have a limited run of a certain number. Let me ask them. Question to the team. What's the new? Is there limited? It might be. I'm not sure. So this one is. Let me get the image. I really like the I like the art for it. It's good. Here. Sunday Scaries. It's a vanilla bean ice cream scent. It smells really nice. But it has grit in it, which is the thing that I like about it the most. So when you kind of like how vanilla bean has like the little bits, you know, vanilla bean ice cream has the little vanilla bean bits. They have the same concept here. So when you scrub yourself with the soap, the little bits actually exfoliate a little bit, which is kind of nice. So if you like exfoliation, there you go. Now, if you use the soap bag and you use that to exfoliate, that can also be a thing. Or if you have like a scrubby, that could be a thing. But this having the grit in it is nice. So yeah, love that. And I really like the art on it. I love her face. She's just eating ice cream and she's like terrified. I love the box art. It's good. Cut out the exfoliating middleman. Yeah. I mean, if you just want to like use the bar of soap and you don't want any extra tools, any extra items, you just want to exfoliate with just the soap, then you know this one has grit in it. So it's pretty nice, which I like because I am dry skinned. But on top of that, I am really I produce a lot of skin. Meaning, if I don't exfoliate frequently, there's a lot. Okay, like my hair, my skin, my nails, I just grow and shed so much. I'm like a dog, you know. So like I have to exfoliate my skin. I have to. Now flaky is only if you're dry. That's if you're dry. That's if you don't exfoliate. Yeah, like if I didn't exfoliate, I would grow a carapace and become a lizard. But I do exfoliate, thank God. But yeah, it's the only way. So just mentioning new flavor. New flavor. I should sell like billboard space right here. Right? The little billboard. I don't want to cover my own merch ad with it though. That's like kind of crazy, right? I don't mind. I'll do it for a short bit. Maybe. Well, anyway, they got the Sunday Scaries, which is nice. You've been using the Italy towels for a while now. Yeah, they're so good, right? They're so good. They're so nice. So, you know, hi Moki. Thank you for the 7 months. Is it or if you have dermatitis? Yeah, exactly. I used to have issues with eczema, things like that, so I've always been really trying to keep aware of my skin. Am I exfoliating enough? Am I moisturizing enough? Do I need to add oil, or is the silicone-based product enough? Like all these different things. So yeah. TLDR for me, I do have to exfoliate a lot, so stuff like this is nice. And it smells good. It smells so delicious. So edible. So edible. Not marked by like the FDA as edible, but it smells so good. Gotta get a NASCAR jacket for your models that you can add to remove sponsors from. No, I could just attach it to my head. That would be enough. Actually, let me do that. Let me do it. Let's forget it from here. Also, they say no, it's not a limited thing. It just happens to be around Halloween. Okay. Perfect. Also, I will mention, Cheeky, they added, I don't know if you saw, but you can subscribe. So that they send you soap regularly, instead of always waiting to purchase when you run out, and then you're like, oh shit, I ran out. Let's go a week without soap while I order it. So, I don't know about you. I don't subscribe to every little thing, but there's certain things like that I will, because like if I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it, you know. So Cheeky actually did add a subscription service. Ooh, how about that? Perfect. You're still your second bar. The soap does, if you're not using it in the shower, even if you're using the shower, it does last a while. But if you're just using one as like a hand soap bar, holy fuck, it lasts 100 years. It lasts for so long. Other bar soaps that I've used, like the little Dove ones and stuff, I feel like they melt away in like a couple weeks, they're gone. But I have had this one bar of Cheeky in this one bathroom, and this is the bathroom that I use, you know. This one has been here for forever, and I'm still like at most a tenth of the way through. But yeah, so cannot recommend it enough. And we got just Sunday Scaries. So delicious. You tried Bahami Mami? Bahami Mami smells so good. Okay, if I had to rank all of them and pick one that's like number one scent for me, it's Bahami Mami. That one is like insanely good. Yeah, the cinnamon one is really nice. It's good if you like a little bit of a stronger scent. It's not like super strong though, no matter what. Like it's strong when you directly put soap bar to nose, but when you use it on yourself, it's not really that strong. It's nice. What kind of scent is Bahami Mami? It's like tropical fruits. It's tropical fruits. When you blend them together, it comes off very like mango, very, very melony. It's nice. Was it a limited run? I don't know. It might have been. Not sure. If you don't see it there, it might be. But God, that one was so nice. That one was so nice. But I know, stay tuned. They're definitely working on more scents, some really nice ones. And I've gotten testers of like everything, so I get to smell all the test bars. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's so good. So nice. Is this your bar? No. No, this is not my bar. If it was, we'd have a whole campaign for it, okay? If it was mine. This is just one that they have. Cinnamon covers and hides the fact that I have a magic card collection. Oh yeah. I kind of wanted to do that, like get a bunch of cheeky soap and then do a meet and greet at a convention and like give samples away at the meet and greet. I know they have normal size. I wanted to see if they would do like mini bars, sample size bars. Actually, let me ask them before I forget. They might just be like, nah, just give away full bars. I don't know how they feel on that, but I'll ask them. Yeah, little tasters at Costco, like a little nugget of absolute cinnamon. They could, you know. Oh, it could be so nice. But yeah, a little like hotel size one would be cool. It would be cool. But we'll see. They could just chop up full bars. Yeah, I don't know, like, usually when you cut soap, you use a whole apparatus to do it. Because you have to get the lines right and everything, and you have to have that looking smooth. You can't have the outside of the bar all jagged. So you always have to, like, have an apparatus where you go to a big brick of soap and then you just push down and you get, like, all these equally sized bars. They probably have to make a thing, right? If they were doing, like, a new size, I think they'd have to make a new apparatus to cut the bars. I don't know. It might be a lot of work, but I think it's worth. I think it's worth, especially at conventions when everyone smells bad. And you could be like, don't you want to smell like cinnamon? Ooh, you know, vanilla bean ice cream. I think they would like that. No, Bark, it's not GEEGA soap. It's not. I would have told you. It's not. It's just regular soap. But it's a new flavor. It's good though. It's nice. Smells good. Soap cutting stim videos at the Cheeky booth. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, but the thing is, you could do that. Actually, here's the thing. So soap cutting videos are usually done with really shitty, cheap soap because those cut nicely. Because the good soaps have more oils and things and moisturizing ingredients, so they're like, they don't really like break and crack the way you want for a like soap cutting video. So the good ones, yeah, they have a little more, they're dense, but they have a little more softness to them. So they don't actually work that well for soap cutting videos. So, and also I wouldn't want to like cut up the nice soap. But they could probably buy some cheap shitty soap and be like, here's the difference, and then do soap cutting. Oh, it'd be so good. Ooh, video idea. I do a podcast with Charlie, but we sit there and hand cam soap cutting while we talk. We sit there on ASMR mics and we soap cut. I'll be like, dude, I got the craziest content idea. It's gonna be so cool. You're excited to try touch grass? Tea tree and peppermint mix smells so invigorating. It's nice. It's really like fresh. And that's the thing, is it doesn't smell like grass, you know? If it was, I'd kind of be like, eh, but no, it smells really nice. very fresh without being like overly fruity or overly floral, which usually like fresh scents are like that, which I like fruity scents, but you get a lot of them, you know, so sometimes I'm like, I just want to smell fresh like blankets though, you know. So I do like that one. Love the cinnamon, but I like vanilla too. I think if you like the cinnamon one, you would like the vanilla one. I think you would. I think you would. So I Charlie CO, so you can convince him of anything if it's good content. You know Queso's an owner now too. Did you see the announcement? Let me find their Twitter. The announcement video was like Charlie and Queso in their bathtubs communicating telepathically. I gotta find it. I was gonna screenshot it, but the first frame of the video is just like Charlie in the bathtub. Hold on, we gotta find the I want you to see the screenshot. Look. That's my favorite. Can I get one? Thanks, Charlie. I think Case is so great, man. You know, I've been watching streams like almost every day at this point. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I like... It's like crack. It's like crack. I can't stop watching Case's streams. My God. My God. Also seem to have sunflower oil allergies. You're allergic to sunflower oil? Really? That's so specific. Do they all have it? Let me look. I actually really like sunflower oil personally, like as a moisturizer. Yeah, oil and seeds is your allergy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them, yeah. Sunflower seed oil. Yeah, it's all of them. It's sunflower oil and coconut oil, shea butter, jojoba, sustainable palm. All the good stuff. All the good stuff. Yeah, the shea butter is nice. It's like no lotion you can use without breaking out. The one I like, so I actually have to check their ingredients list. So I'm not sure. Hold on. The thing I use the most is CeraVe. CeraVe. No, the unscented one isn't different because those oils don't really have scents. CeraVe products are my favorite. They do not put in them any oils from like any plant-based or animal-based anything really. They have ceramides in them. So good. So ceramides are the natural oils or lipids, right? The fats that are on top of your skin that your skin produces. That's what ceramides are. So what CeraVe did was they took ceramides and some other stuff and made creams out of that. So they're like, because I also have some sensitivities to certain things, they're the most like inoffensive ingredient you could have because it's what's already on your skin. Very few people will ever have an issue with that. It's just water, glycerin, which is a very normal humectant. It just holds water and lets it be delivered into the skin. Stearyl alcohol, which is always put in here in so many of these things it usually helps with emulsification or like texture to make sure it's like in a cream form. They got cetyl alcohol, same thing, texture. Petrolatum, which again, texture. All of this to make it so it's an applicable product and so that it'll moisturize. And then a bunch of ceramides. Phenoxyethanol, again, helps with water delivery. It's just like the most bare bones moisturizer there is. And it comes in a big tub, the moisturizing cream, and it's really good for, you know, body, skin, and all of that. So if you have like issues with a lot of oils, I would go for this one, honestly. So good. Insanely good. So that's just my recommendation. Now, I am really dry, so I do like things with oils in them personally. So I use that on my face. Not the one in the tub, the one with the pump that's like made for face a little more. I use that one on my face, and then I use like something with an oil base for body. But yeah. Yeah. Tried the soap first time this morning. Want to try because Moist has skin issues too. I have painful skin condition. My skin's very picky. Was amazed how well this worked for me. Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, no, genuinely, like, I when I was younger, had horrible eczema. Like, awful. My skin would be cracking, even with putting lotion on. And it was on the insides of my joints and the outsides of, like, my elbows and stuff. And it was so bad. And I would wake up and, like, let's say my arm was bent. Imagine the inside of my elbow is covered in eczema, right? So I'm like scaly and crispy and crusty. And I would go to bed and then wake up, and when I would extend my arm, I would crack, and sometimes I would like bleed, or just like clear lymph would be leaking out. And I'd just be like, dude, why? So I would have to like wet things in the sink in the shower, just like hold my arms, my legs, my backs, and my knees did this too. My neck area as well. I'd have to sit there and like dampen the skin, like let it sit in water and soak for a while. Pat kind of dry, but not fully dry. And then I'd have to put lotions and things on and then wrap myself. I'd have to wrap it either in saran wrap, or if I was trying to be good, you know, I would do like cloth and stuff. And it was like kind of a gross feeling, but it was the only way to not, you know, crack. And this was when it was at its worst, when it was flaring up. It wasn't always like this all the time, but it was bad. It was bad. And you know, they would bleed a lot. I would have it on the backs of my hands too, sometimes near my knuckles. I don't have as much of an issue with it now. I think it definitely changed with time, with age, for sure. But it's not 100% gone. It's usually gone, and then occasionally if I have like a bad summer, sometimes I end up with like eczema and I got the elbow problem again, and you know, stuff like that. So yeah, that's dealing with that made me start to care about skincare. And then I also had skin issues with my whole cancer fiasco and all that. I had like hormonal issues with it. Didn't know it was that. I just thought it was a skin issue. So I've been very, very, for multiple reasons, very into skincare and really like figuring that out. So yeah. So I've tried a lot of products, TLDR, and you know, if you have a question about a skin thing, please ask. Not a doctor, but like, you know, dealt with a lot of that shit at least. When your son had to sleep with gloves on in the winter when he was young for his dry skin. Yeah, I did that. I did that sometimes for the hands. I'd wrap them in a little gauze. I would put like lotion on and then a little Vaseline and some gauze. Just one layer. Just one layer. I was laughing. Texas earlier was like, everyone knows men don't do skincare. I will look like a leather bag when I hit 30. More like by the time you're 10, the way some people treat their skin, dude. Remember when we, I mean, well, this is an age thing, but remember when we all used to sit out on the beach with the trifold? Absolutely cooking. Dude. I used to be outside and, you know, wear some sunscreen, but like not reapply. So I would just get cooked and I would be so tan. I would be so tan. But I have a wide range. I could be incredibly pale or I can be incredibly tan. It's just the skin type, you know? And if I just stay out for a full, I do a winter and like a summer of not really too much sun, I can be like, you know, compared to, I'm not gonna say like porcelain, but like compared to when I'm tan, so much lighter. And then I go out 2 times and I'm like, I cook so easily. I cook so fast. I have to be so careful. I have to try so hard to not get tanned. Ugh. I'm green. I'm green. Your left elbow and forearm are always super dry compared to your right. There might be a habit or something that you do that gets them like touching things more often, maybe? I don't know. Hi, Boone. You should ask your chat. If everybody gives me $1 right now, I'd have a lot of dollars. Good old Farmington in March. Oh, dude, especially when I used to drive a lot because I would have to like go far and come back constantly, and so I would my left arm, there were times where my left arm was so much darker than my right, and it was crazy. I was like two different people, like a chimera split down the middle, just like just absolutely fucked. So I got one of those like UV sleeves just to cover the one side. I had to. I just had to. Your powerful Irish skin keeps you pasty no matter what. Yeah, even if you burn, you don't tan, do you? Very Anglo-Saxon of you. I've noticed that there are some people that are super pale that can never tan, and then there's some people that are pretty pale, but they can just in 2 seconds. You know, outside they just go boom, and they look like a different person. It just depends. Got a freckle once. One time. Wait, really? You're super pale without the freckles? A lot of my pale friends have freckles pretty easily. They sort of get them instead of a tan, usually. Reminds me of that truck driver that looked 20 years older on his left. It was crazy. Yeah, it's hard to like show the effects of sun damage and how much it ages you, but they're like truckers are a good example, and then twins that have different lifestyles. So if you have identical twins and one of them is like, you know, someone who goes out a lot and another one doesn't, that is like just a perfect example of how much it ages you. And it happens slowly over time, so it's not like suddenly you get old and suddenly it shows up, right? So wearing sunscreen can keep you looking younger the whole time. It's preventative, so it's good. But I would say it's less about, for me, less about looking younger and more just about skin cancer being the most common one. And it's like so easy to get. Everyone gets some form of some sort of weird cells on them by the time they're older. So you just don't risk it, dog. Just don't risk it. Especially if you're bald or you're thinning up top on the scalp. So many people get like cells on their scalp they need to be removed, and like you think about them like just cutting skin off. I'm like, bleh. No thank you. No thank you. You'll never age because you don't go outside. Good. No, you should go outside a little bit, just not prolonged, you know? Not prolonged. What do you mean cells, those spots? We know what cells are, right? We know cells come in different types, right? We know that when you get skin cancer, you get different cell types, right? Right? Remember Osmosis Jones? Remember him? Love that guy. Love that guy. Ooh, we got a doxer. I'm British, Swiss, Austrian, and Irish. I get a sunburn if I ever hear someone talking about the sun. Well, the only thing I would say there is Swiss could be a mixed bag, because I will say, this is my personal experience. I know Swiss individuals that are like basically Italian, and I know Northern Italians are lighter, but I know some that you know are a bit more. They've migrated a little more. They've migrated a bit. That's what I'll say. He said, "Bro, I got incels on my scalp. I need help." No, Boone. They're gonna go to your brain. They're gonna climb in your ears. You gotta run, dude. You Gotta run. You can't play around with that. All right, 2 of you already made the mitochondria joke. I want to say I've seen it on Twitter 5 times. Please stop making this joke. Please. Please. It's so many. It's so many. Your grandfather had skin cancer on his ears from being a carpenter all his life. I know one guy who had skin cancer on the inside of his nose. On the inside of his nose from fishing. He would fish all the time, so the light would hit the water and reflect upward at him. So he'd put sunscreen on, and most people concentrate on like the upper areas that are facing upward because that's where the sun comes from. And then yeah, you should get like the bottom of your nose too, stuff like that. But the inside of his nose, I mean, those tissues don't even have like melanin in it to help with the sun at all. So I'm just noting, you know, be aware. If you ever go to like a dermatologist and you're getting your big skin check over, tell them that stuff.
I started using sunscreen last time GEEGA brought this up, and then I saw the chemicals in the sunscreen, and now I'm scared of the sun faction redeems chat.
Why are you scared of the sun? What do you mean? I saw the chemicals. Chemicals are good. Chemicals good. Fill me with chemicals. Oh. Hold on, I'm checking something. Oh, the link on my creator page was being a little funny for cheeky, by the way. So if you click on this one, it will bring you there to the soap page. But it has my code applied. You can also just at checkout use the code. You just say code GEEGA, like, then it'll be fine. But I'm just noting for you guys that the link was being a little funny. We gotta swap it. We gotta swap it. They just let me know. They're like, by the way, send them this one. Thank you, Cheeky. Thanks, Cheeky. They're also they're gonna look into the mini bars potentially. they're gonna look into it. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. Sun's already blowing up, that's why it's hot and bright. I mean, it's like permanently exploding, yeah. But that's normal. I wouldn't say blowing up because like eventually it'll supernova and everything will get burnt to a crisp and die. But that's different. That's like a different thing than the current, you know, constant exploding kind of thing. It's, you know what I mean? It's like a fireball of a bunch of smaller explosions constantly. Not like the cool supernova kind. Yeah, it's the burning. It's the burning. Thought our sun is too small to go supernova. Well, I don't know if it'll get classified as supernova necessarily, but it'll still go through the process. It'll go through the process of getting there, and then, you know. Whatever it undergoes, it undergoes. Whatever happens, happens. Will it wipe us out? Something else is gonna wipe humanity out well before that, 100%. Well before all of this. I think, personally, I hope it's super mutants, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it'll be, but I hope everyone gets dunked in the vats. I think it'd be cool. I think it'll be neat. Mr. Beast is gonna wipe us out for a video. The aliens are gonna come down and they're gonna find Mr. Beast and they're gonna put a gun to his head and they're gonna be like, you need to make the greatest video of all time. And he's like, I know what I must do. And then he makes a video and he's like, I got rid of all the people except for one. And that one wins all the resources in the world. And then it's himself. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool. I ended humanity in this video. Thanks for the sponsorship. No, I think it'll be cool. It'll be the coolest video of all time, you know. You won't get to see it. That's all. That's all. You know, why does he have like a serial killer smile? Let me look at his recent thumbnails. Let me look. Maybe I'm thinking of just the worst pictures. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast YouTube channel. I'm tired of him showing all of his teeth all the time. Do you know what I'm talking about? He has plenty of thumbnails where his mouth is closed and he's making an expression, and I have like no problem with those when I look at them. I think they look totally fine. Sometimes it's a good expression, sometimes it's a bad expression, sometimes it's a, you know, whatever, and like those are fine. But yeah, very peepo teeth. Very peepo teeth, you know? Like, and the thing is, if I only saw one picture of him, I'd be like, that's a guy grimacing. Okay? But then he does like the exact same thing in so many of the thumbnails, and then I think that's what makes it uncanny. I think that's what does it. As I'm looking at it. Yeah, you know what it is? Yeah, it's like he does this one grimacing face and he just does the exact same face on so many of them. I think that's what it is. No, I don't think they're reused. Either that, oh, well, I think he's using AI for his thumbnails for the most part. He might have the greatest Photoshop artists of all time. You know, he has the money to definitely hire people to Photoshop him incredibly well. So it could very, very, very well be that. But I'm pretty sure he just uses AI art for a lot of the backgrounds of his thumbnails. Or I remember there being a complaint about that. And as I look at a lot of them, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it could also be really good Photoshop jobs on a lot of them, though. So I don't know. I don't know. He looks like he's smiling without flexing the necessary muscles. He needs a Tyra Banks lesson. He needs Tyra Banks to put him through the whole thing. And to be like, girl, you ain't smizing. You know, and send him down the runway. Teach him to smize for the judges. And then I think, you know, it would be a lot better. It would be so much better. What if he just does really freaky photo shoots? Like, he's got this one... Here, I'll show you. He could do really strange photo shoots. Maybe? Okay, because he's got this one thumbnail of this video called I Paid an Assassin to Try to Kill Me, right? And it looks like this. It looks like this. Okay. And then more recently, he's got one that says, would you risk dying for 500K? And that thumbnail, let me show ya. Let me show ya. Looks like this. Now, are these just photoshopped similarly, or are these the same photo shoot? You see the ripped up shirt? Or is this a format that worked really well and they were like, let's do that again? Also, you can see how different his face looks in it. God, the photoshopping's crazy. But like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe it's, what if it's the same photo shoot? I don't know, man. Both feel like fetish AI. They're both AI, both feel like AI. They feel like... But again, people who are good at Photoshop make things feel like AI. I remember looking at very old videos of people photoshopping shit. And this was the thing. If you come from the days of early meme creation, people used to use Photoshop in insane ways to make pictures of two famous people making out, right? And it would just be like hours and hours and hours of Photoshop. Yeah, it would be prompts, and it was really hard to do. But that used to be like, I remember that was a type of content creation, was people that were good at photoshopping crazy shit together, right? So there is a chance that this is only Photoshop, but I think most likely it's probably both. I even remember picking up Photoshop like really early on and learning how to do like some weird shit with it. You know? Zabrand is so generic at this point, and AI is the most generic look possible, so there's no difference between Zabrand and the underlying aesthetic of AI. I mean, isn't that the whole point, right? Like, that's... The point is he's trying to be a regular guy. Like, what does Mr. Beast mean? Nothing. He's just a guy with very white teeth. And he makes videos of being like, I did something, and the video's not even really about me that much. That's it. He's pretty much just a producer, right? A producer and then a face of some shit. I think that's the whole thing. The whole point is, this is what I get from it, is I feel like the whole vibe he's going for is to not have too much of a personality, too much of a brand, and to be too different. That way you can always self-insert, right? Which I feel like is the case for a lot of things. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Right, that's just his strat. So, yeah. Yeah, he's everyman, right. Oh, has he? He has verbatim said before that he intentionally suppresses his personality for his content. That makes sense. I mean, it's actually something that that works on stream. Like, a lot of people have sort of A/B tested this, and they've found that the more you just kind of stim and have less of a unique personality, and you just like do a couple funny things, but for the most part you like become less unique, the more viewers you get, which is it makes sense because you're getting people willing to come in the door and stay because you're casting a wider net, right? You're less specific, you're more vague. And I think that makes a lot of sense. So sad? I don't think so. It's a job. There will always be people doing specific stuff. There will always be people that, a lot of this is just for themselves, right? And then there are going to be people that are like, I just want to make money doing this. I don't care. I'm just doing this for a job. I could do a different job, or I could do this, and that's what I'm doing. And they're going to do what they're going to do, I think that's fine. Honestly. I think look a lot of the content and like streaming groups have that too. You have like people who themselves alone might be more individualistic, but then by doing things in a group all the time, they all, like someone said it, like you kind of regress toward the mean, right? Everyone starts to take things from each other a little bit, and they start to have like a group conglomerate identity a little bit, and it homogenizes it, right? It makes people that normally would be like really unique, they're still unique, but because they spend time with those other people and kind of code switching a little bit, it makes them more palatable, so people will show up, you know? And then they kind of like, when they see them on their own and they see how unique they are, they kind of fall into it a little more, but they wouldn't give them that chance unless they saw them in a familiar environment the first time, you know? So that's why groups are really good. They work really well. You get people together that people maybe wouldn't expect to see together, but it works out really well. It just does. That's why it's important to pick your circle carefully. I mean, yeah, but I'm not having a conversation about that, about who you pick. I'm just saying in general, it's good. It's good to be in groups if you're like a content creator, because you know, you have like a lot of different vibes of people around you. You get to do different things. You get to be seen code switching more, so more people can see you as an adaptable person. You should assume that everyone can be different than what they are at any moment. They're not always exactly the same thing, but you don't see it, right? You need an example of it. So when you do like collabs with people that are very different from you, I think it's nice. It's nice because you get to see that person in different environments. You get to see them behave a little differently. And it might be something you like. It might be something you don't, but you know, new people are more likely to come in from that. Sometimes the vibe still isn't for them, but you know. Groups can also check you and keep you grounded. Yeah. I think more often than not it's that. But it does depend on who. I mean, let's be honest, there are content groups where you see everyone together and you're like, this is really nice to see everyone together. I see everyone supporting each other. You know, when someone's having a hard time, the others are like pulling them back and making them do the right thing for themselves, and that's great, right? And then there are other content groups where I'm like, you know, this guy was all right, and then he started hanging out with this group and he just got weird. You know, like, or sometimes like they're fine but their content got annoying and I'm like, well, now I don't want to watch anymore. You know. No offense to some of them. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I cannot stand there's something that keeps happening that I hate seeing. I hate seeing. And it's not even that big of a deal. It's a little thing. I hate when someone has a stream and they've got a sub goal on the screen, okay, and they're trying to break a record because they're doing a subathon or an event or whatever, and the content is them sitting in their chair and all their boys behind them going, oh my god, as the number gets closer to whatever the goal is, and then they hit the goal and they're like, no way, and the content is literally them being like, please gift me money, please give me money, please money now, ooh please. That I understand like being a little hype in the moment, but I feel like I keep seeing like every group do this and it's the same format. They're not even doing an event in that moment. They're just staring at the screen, and I'm like, oh, please do something. Do something. I think if it's in between like segments, it's fine. It's fine, right? But I keep seeing a lot of people like doing that for too much of the stream, and I'm like, yeah, they're just like, you're just panhandling. You're not even like entertaining people that much. I don't know. Or maybe people do find it entertaining if they're subbing. Maybe it's just not for me. I don't know. But sometimes I'm like, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's nothing wrong with doing that in the middle of an event. Manto, thank you for the 5 gifted. If you're like coming off of a segment and then you're like, oh, we're in between these two segments, but we're sitting here to watch this number go up because it's close anyway, let's just sit here, then I'm like, that's fine. And I think some of those clips come from that. That's totally fine. But I think some other people saw that and got inspired, but then they made like too much of their stream just them and their boys sitting there and being like, yo, chat, yo, chat, give me subs, chat, oh my god, number go up, chat, you know. And it's just like, it's kind of tiring. I don't know. I keep looking at it and I'm like, what is this? Is this fun? Is that supposed to be fun? I'm sure it's fun for the people standing there, but like, I don't know about the content part of it. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. Yeah, the e-begging. The thing is, like, again, there are people like I won't clown on Kai, right? Because he's got so much event-based shit going on, right? Like, yeah, he has those moments of he's sitting there with his boys just talking, whatever, but that's in between a lot of shit. And he like pays people to come onto stream and do segments while he's sleeping and stuff. Yeah, there's production value. So I'm like, so if in between that he sits there and does that, I'm like, okay, well, you're still like, you've been doing a lot of actual shit though. Doesn't matter if it's for you or not. Either way, like, I will be like, this guy has been doing shit. But I think people see those clips, but they don't have the capacity he does to do like a planned event thing like that and make like a 24/7 stream actually have shit going on constantly. So they just spend so much of their stream sitting there being like, guys, we gotta you have to make the stream continue. This is on you, man. Give me money, kids, you know? And then like all these kids are like, yeah. I don't like it. I don't know. You just don't like Kai. You don't have to like anyone, but you know, I'm just saying. I think World recognizes real. You know, I think he's a hustler and a grinder. So I think he puts the work in. You said if you have to watch either him or Speed, you would pick Speed 100% of the time. I would personally. I really think Speed's doing so great. So great. I have my issues with like everyone who's like huge has like shit going on where like there are things where I'm like, I don't like that, you know, whatever. Speed, it's less about him, it's more his community that keeps stream sniping and stuff. I'm like, but I don't think that's something he can control, you know. But I think he's doing
Remember,
great.
chat, only you can keep Boris streaming, so do your part today.
If it were for you, Boris wouldn't be in the corner. Look at him, he's holding the number. He's holding the number. Yeah, you said you don't like the property damage streams, the fireworks in the house type stuff. Yeah, I saw a video. This was not about Kai, it was about other people around him. And only certain ones, not all of them. But there were some people that kept showing up during his Mafia-thon. And some of them, like one of them in particular, I think I mentioned this the other day, they like threw a glass on the floor and broke it, like right in front of the cleaning lady while she was like actively mopping and stuff. And they were like throwing food around. Actually, Kai did this himself. He like grabbed food with the dude and like threw it around. Now, I do think they specifically paid these people to clean and have them on staff constantly because they were like, part of this content is that we're going to be messy. So we need constant cleaning staff. I do think that is absolutely part of it. So I don't think the cleaning staff necessarily were brought on like not knowing, right? But regardless, the audience is a lot of kids. And then your content is just like, I'm going to throw a glass on the floor and throw food on the ceiling. And I'm just like,
Here, Boris, have
you know?
some yummy bits.
Thank you, Harpy. Thank you. Yeah, right. It teaches bad behavior. Exactly. So that's the part I'm like, you know, I don't care if like the lady in the video has been paid very well, and maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But if she does know like beforehand that this is the deal, then that's fine. That part is fine. That's not the issue. But like, just doing like shitty stuff for content when your audience is mostly kids, then I'm like, I don't think we should spend any time on that, you know? I don't think we should. As long as they know what they signed up for. Yeah, I feel like the people in the room all knowing what's going on, like, that's fine. That's not the problem. But I don't know. I'm just like, what's good about this? And I think it's hard because, you know, if kids weren't impressionable, I wouldn't give a fuck. Whatever, right? But you know, I've got a lot of friends that teach, do things like that, and they've talked about the behavior getting worse in the classroom with middle and high schoolers, and literally because they're watching, a lot of them sit there and watch clips from these streams They watch this shit and see people do stupid stuff, and then they're like, ooh, me too. Right? Like direct correlation. Witnessed by people I know, and they're like, yeah, they keep watching this shit during class and on breaks and whatever, and then they think they're part of the team, you know, so they start doing the same thing, and you know, and it's a lot of it. It's a lot of it. I don't know. We had Jackass back in the day on MTV. We absolutely did. The thing is, now Jackass had a lot of stunts that I was like not always down with, but for the most part, Jackass was people where the cast were the ones taking the piss. The cast were kicking each other in the nuts or trying dangerous things where they would get hurt. But I felt like they were less of nuisances. Sometimes they were. But overall, less. And yes, everyone was like volunteered for a lot of their stuff. So I think there's a big difference when they're like showing themselves doing a thing, but then it's like against their own cast member or a person that's hired in, right? And then like if other people are witnessing it, they're witnessing it, but they wouldn't be like beating up random people and like throwing shit and at those people, and you know. It was like, it was a little different, I felt. And a lot of it was very staged in those ways. You know, there was a lot of staging of how that all went, so it's different. It's different. They had that warning at the beginning stating, don't fucking do this at home. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like lots of disclaimers and stuff directly on the media itself. Not just them saying it on their stream at 3 a.m. when no one's watching. You know, not that. It was like at the beginning of the episode, and it was a short episode, that it would be like, here's the note, don't fucking do this, right? But with a lot of the streamers, they don't have that. They do a bit and they get called out for it. And then after getting called out, they're like, obviously you shouldn't do it, guys. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. You know, and I'm like, I think you need to do it literally in the moment with disclaimers, right? So, just saying. You know. You said Bam's dad. Yeah, Bam Margera's dad. That poor guy. Man. But at the same time, you know, I'm sure he was willing to accept a lot of it because that's what paid them ass tons of money, right? Like that supported the family. So, you know. Yeah, I have seen recent pictures of Bam. He's literally morphed into his dad. like imagine the Animorphs book and it starts with Bam and ends with his dad, except that's literally him now. Like that's just that's just how it is, man. You hated him for beating up on his dad like that? Yeah, I genuinely couldn't stand him, and I liked a lot of other people from that era and that type of content, but I couldn't stand him because if I ever did anything like any of that to my parents, I would like get beaten, like straight up, you know? And I wasn't really like the type to do things like that, so I wasn't like a kid that got beatings all the time. But if I would not listen and I would do crazy shit, it was eye for an eye in my household, right? Eye for an eye, okay? Not allowed. Even little disrespect, not allowed, you know? So for me, it was like really hard to watch a lot of that stuff and not just like genuinely get angry. Because I was like, what? What? I don't know. I didn't have a crazy brother. While all of my brothers were different from each other, everyone was overall well behaved. We didn't have any cretins, you know, in the family because we were raised right. So, you know. Obviously some better behaved than others in different ways, but overall we were all pretty good. We were all pretty damn good. No idiot nephews? No. No, my family, I have a huge family. I have a fuck ton of cousins, okay? A fuck ton, because I have a huge family, okay? A lot of people. A lot of them have kids, a lot of them have boys. The standard for behavior is just higher. Even the ones that I think are like the worst behaving ones are still really good, like out in public compared to, you know, what I think is like the average kid behavior. They're still really good. So, you know, because our family really cares about that. And we all police each other's kids and everything, right? So even though like I don't have children and none of those kids are my kids, we will still, like, if I see one of my cousin's kids misbehaving, I will be like, hey, like I'm their parent. I'll be like, hey, don't do that shit, you know, whatever, and explain what's wrong and all of that. And we all kind of do it. So, you know, if you, yeah, everyone has like the cool aunt, the cool uncle things where you're allowed to do like little things more and more, but like not bad behavior, you know, like that's not allowed. Because then you make us all look bad, you know? So, nah, everyone's good. Everyone is good. Yeah, it takes a village for sure, for sure. I mean, I think people get raised better when they have just more adults in their lives to communicate with. It helps them grow up and mature better, but also like sometimes the way a parent explains something to a kid, they just like don't fucking get it. They just don't fucking get it, okay? And then your cousin 5 times removed will come over and be like, hey, here's why you shouldn't do it, and they'll explain it a different way, and you'll be like, oh, okay, you know. And that is all just like the advantage of having more people around you, right? And more role models, more adults in your life. You just end up being raised better because someone will be able to explain things to you in a way that you get. I mean, congrats on your NL resub. Thank you so much. Thanks. Glad you were watching for it. So cool. Waiting for it. Sounds like they were pretty chill about you skipping classes, given your results were still good. They didn't really know. I didn't have like a serious talk with my parents and be like, you know, folds hands, sits down at table. I want you to know I'm going to skip some classes to focus on this thing instead during that time, blah, blah, blah. I just did whatever and then just like was like, yo, here's the report card, boom. And I'd be like, here are my grades and here are the grades I need to get into where I want to get into, boom. And they'd be like, all right. School did not report that? No. I didn't come from a good one. Not attending class was like not really that bad compared to everything else that could go on. So that was like not a big deal. Especially if my grades were kept up, nobody fucking cared. Nobody fucking cared, you know? So as long as you weren't selling drugs in the bathroom in the middle of class, dude. Like it was bad. It was bad. I don't know. They didn't care. They cared about me, but they knew what I was going for and they didn't give a shit. So, that bad. It was a mix. I mean, the thing is, like, we had really, really good kids that were really smart and doing their thing. And then we also had, like, people that were in the worst scenarios ever. And you know, we had the whole gamut. We had rich kids and we had like dirt poor kids, and that was just like everyone was in one building and it was a huge school, you know. So is what it is. So yeah, if you kept your grades up enough, then like you were fine. You kept yourself quiet, you know, which is kind of what I always wanted to be, was like low radar, you know, just sitting there. Just sitting there. So you didn't shank anyone. She was a good kid. I don't know if I would call myself a good kid. I for the most part was at the time. But no, I absolutely did fight a little bit. But it was like in defense. You know, like there was one person that was like bullying one of my brothers a lot. And he was younger. Every time I saw him at his locker, I would slam his locker closed. Like just to piss him off. So you'd have to go and open it again. So every single time I saw him at his locker and I saw him start to open it, I would wait for him to open it. I go boom, and I just slam it closed. Every time. And yeah, I got like his hands in there several times because I was pissed because he was like physically, he was hurting my brother like physically, you know. So I would make sure I would wait for like his arm to be in there, you know, shit like that. Because I just could not stand it. I was really pissed. I was really pissed. He was picking up my brother and like throwing him and shit. He had like a sprained wrist at one point, and I was like, he's gonna break something or like fracture something. He wasn't like beating up my brother. Like he wasn't like throwing him on the ground and punching him a lot, but he was like picking him up and throwing him. He was a big kid, you know. He was just picking him up and throwing him. And it was you know, it was pissing me off. It was really pissing me off. But I wouldn't try to fight him because it's not like I was like a big kid that could, you know, like lift him up and throw him or anything. So I would slam his locker closed all the time. I would throw his stuff on the floor. He'd be like, stop, you know, whatever. And I'd be like, I'll stop when you stop, bitch. So I would just like throw his shit on the floor constantly. I'd do it with like his food. He had water on a desk. I would see him sit down, have a water bottle on desk, pick it up, throw it out. You know? And the thing is, the only reason I really felt like okay doing that was because I had other people supporting it, because they knew I was only doing it because he was bullying my brother. And some of these people were friends, you know, in that whole circle too. So we would do a thing where someone would see this guy, and we wouldn't always do this unprompted. It would be like if he recently like lashed out at my brother and had like done something to him the other day, then until we could get him, we would be looking out, and someone would see him, and you know, he'd be like carrying his books in his arm, like walking to class, and we'd slap his books on the ground and we'd go soccer, and everyone would start kicking his books around until we got him to a stairwell, and that was goal. And we would do that shit to him and get him with it once, and then not keep doing it, but just do it every time he tried to do some shit to my brother. We'd like do that for the day, you know. Yeah, goal. Because he had to understand, like, you can't do this with no consequence, dude. Like, you know. So I didn't do this one, but I knew some other people that were friends with my brother that would see that kid, and like, if he had bothered my brother that day, they would grab his lunch and throw it in the garbage. They would just take it and just throw it out, and they'd be like, oops. But only in retaliation. No one would outright do this to him just cause, you know, is only like because he threw the first punch kind of thing, which I think at that point, like, you know, I was all for it because he was really rough. He would like, I was worried my brother was going to be like concussed straight up, like, you know, like head on the ground at some point, like throw him on the floor. It was bad. So I was like, yeah, no, can't let that happen. And of course the teachers wouldn't do anything. It was not a school where people would be like, oh yeah, let's really like figure this out between these kids. It was not that. They'd be like, hey, well, you know, you're alive, so you know, or they were just too busy dealing with other shit. They'd be like, oh, you got picked up and thrown. Well, that ain't anything compared to whatever, you know. So I'm like, all right. Not my job. They were just used to breaking up kids actively fighting each other and shit like that. So it's just, you know, not good. Was this high school or middle school? Both. It was the same kid the whole way through. It was the same one. He ever learn? He eventually stopped going to school. He went somewhere else and he picked up a trade. He was put in a program. To learn a trade because he couldn't stop doing shit like that. So eventually we didn't have to, you know, deal with him, but, you know, Couldn't be stopped. It wasn't just my brother, it was other people that he would bother, but I wasn't about to do like some stupid vigilante justice for someone I didn't know. I didn't care, you know. But yeah, he would just like lash out at people. And I'm sure what he needed was therapy and a better home life. As an adult, like I'm sure that's what he needed. Right? Or to be in like the Big Brothers Big Sisters program so he could have a life mentor that actually, you know, was a functioning adult. That's probably what he needed. But us as kids, all we could do was just like eye for an eye, make him understand that this shit hurts, you know. That was really it. But oh well, what can you do? Yeah, I hope he grew up right too. I don't know. I don't check up on people years later. I have no curiosity. I was asked, you know, when my high school reunion happened, I was asked like, you know, do you want to go? And I was like, no. No. They couldn't even really get a hold of me. They like finally got through on a chain of like 8 people to try and figure out like, you know, and a friend asked, I was like, no. What? I don't wanna. I don't know. For those of you that have had your high school reunion happen, did you go? I know some friends of mine were never even contacted, so like it wasn't even well advertised. No, no, no. You don't know if there was one? Yeah. I guess depending on how old you are too, some of them may have happened during like COVID era, so some of them might have like stopped, right? Yeah, yeah, you said your 10 year was supposed to be 2020. Mm-hmm. Only person you still talk to from high school is your twin brother. I have 2 friends. I have 2 friends from that time. There are some people that I know from that time, but they weren't like from school, you know. So from school, there are 2 friends that I still have that I still talk to in any capacity. That I would just sit down and go, I wonder what they're doing, you know. So I have those 2, and one is like a normal working woman, and she is still somewhere where I can go see her anytime. The other one, I can also go see her anytime, but she's like my incredibly sheltered friend who don't know nothing. I like her a lot. But she like she's a nice Catholic girl, you know, and she just, man, she's like the opposite of like so many people I'm friends with. So she's never been really a part of like any of my friend groups. She's just like this one-on-one friend I've got. She's great. She's great. Love her. She didn't start dating her whole life until last year. And you know, she's maybe of an age that you would think she would have tried, but she only just started last year, and she was telling me about it. She just honestly, I know it sounds wild, but I might have talked about her before. This is the friend who has a brother who is autistic and has probably other things going on, but we can't tell. But to the point where he's like nonverbal and he needs constant care, and her job is basically caring for him. So she doesn't really get a chance to go out and do much. So it's kind of not the most surprising for her because of her situation, right? So she's got that going on. So for her, like, just not necessarily that she's always busy with him, but she certainly can't leave him alone. He cannot be left alone. Absolutely not allowed. He always has to have a guardian with him. Like, legally he has to. He's obviously under full conservatorship and everything, you know, like he just cannot handle any adult thing himself. You know, all that. So, you know, not the most surprising for her. But she started with dating apps recently, and she was telling me about it. And she was like, why do I she went, why do I keep getting, it's always programmers. It's like, I was like, what do you mean? Like, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Like, what do you feel about that? She was like, well, put in my profile that I like Star Wars. And I was like, okay, well, you know, like, I was like, I think you like, you put yourself in a situation where you're like, you're casting a specific net, you know, yeah, throwing chum in the water. She's like, I like Star Wars and reading books. She also studied math, you know, so she's like, I was a math major. And I'm like, well, girl, what do you think? It's funny. It's just funny. I know you like Star Wars, Joel. Joel, I like Star Wars too. I do too. I really do. I'm just saying, like, when you're on a dating profile and you're writing, like, this is what I like, this is what I like, you know, there's some specific people that are gonna see that and be like, I'm gonna swipe yes on this, you know? Jedi or Sith side. She always, you know, I remember she always really loved Anakin. She always really loved Anakin. And I know this because in middle school, she had an Anakin lunchbox. Okay? And she was like, he's so bad, but he's so cute. Okay? And that was just her thing. That was her thing. I don't think that's her type nowadays, but in middle school, it was. A red flag. No. She hated what he did. She just liked, you know, the actor really. Like, that was really it. That was really all. So what I'm getting is that if Joel set up a dating profile, he'd also attract programmers. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. She original trilogy, prequels, or sequels? Which? I'm trying to remember which era was on this lunchbox in particular. He had that longish hair cut in a shag. Which movie was that? Which movies? Hold on. Yeah, prequel 3. He looked like that on the lunchbox. That was the Anakin she had on this lunchbox. Yeah. When he was cute and won a pod race. That's the whole thing. That was what she liked. So you know. When you said, where do I meet her? I'm not letting any of you go near my friend. Absolutely not. Because if you marry her, I have to see you all the time, and you can't know what I do. Okay, I have to be her friend that she knows, that just, like, does some tech job, ambiguous, vague, whatever, okay? That's it. I just have to be that friend sitting in the corner like, woo, yeah, and no one pays attention to me, all right? Yeah, not even a mysterious job. Oh, yeah, she does that boring... Well, my old job was very boring, you know? So just like, oh, she does that boring tech job. Right? That's what I've got to be, so. Yeah, no? You know? Does that mean she wants kids or doesn't want kids? We're not gonna go into it. Okay? None of you have a fucking chance. Not a single chance. I will kill any man that goes near her. They're all gonna die. She only needs me. I'm like, oh, that's so cool that you're dating. And then I'm like, anyway, let's hang out. And then take all of her free time. You know. It's just how it goes. Boone said, bro, let me at her. Boone, you don't understand. She's like ultra normie. And like, you would say one thing, Boone, and she'd be like, he's so funny. Kind of weird though. Like she's so normal. She's so normal. I need that. No. She wouldn't get you. She wouldn't get you, Boone. She would not understand you at all. She wouldn't get you one bit. Okay? Last time you asked if normal women went shopping at Claire's. No, he didn't. No way you asked that, Boone. No. No way you asked that. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You were at a party. Okay. Okay, wait. We're getting context. We're getting context. And a woman was talking to me. Okay. That's good. This was a week ago. She was interested. Oh my God. She said, hey, where do you live? Oh. And I said, my parents, right away. Uh-huh. And then what happened? Oh no. Oh, Boone. It's already a little cooked. It's already, yeah, 07s, man. 07s. I constantly fumble. I mean, I think most people fumble often, but you have to fumble cutely, right? You know that meme where they're like throws up but cute? You know, you have to like do that, because then it's like when you see like a cat with 3 legs and it's like walking, but it like, you know, it's like hobbling a little bit and you're like, oh, he's trying. You know what I mean? You have to like get that from them, because then they'll be like, I have to save him. And then you get a mature, responsible woman making your meals for you because she thinks you can. Maybe you can, but you'd be like, oh, it's so hard, you know, and she'll do it for you. And they're like, yes, right? That's how you get her hook, line, and sinker, dude. You gotta trick her. You want a normal woman. Boone, you want a normal woman, but I watched your stream and I watched you try to I watched you play Vintage Story, trying to cool down, but not too much, some melted copper in a thing and like cut it out, but it kept cooling down too fast because it was winter and you were crashing out. And I watched you do this for an hour, and the singular ingot, it was trying to make 1 copper ingot, and he was losing his mind. I've never heard someone, and the thing is, this, it's only audio, right? He's not on the screen, it's just the game and audio, and I've never heard someone suffer so much, like verbally. Like I don't know. You'd grab a hot pizza out the oven for a woman? Dude. Do you have this like, do you have this energy when you get out there? Cause like, that's good. That sentence right there, that was good. Okay. Chat, he's not saying he thinks it's a great idea to grab the hot pizza out of the oven without mitts. He's saying he would. Just to save the pizza, if no mitts were available, he'd go, don't worry, I got him right here. And then he'd use his man hands to grab the pizza, okay? And I think normal women don't like that intensity. No, he needs to go all in. Are you kidding? He needs to go all in. All right? You need him to understand. Boone, we should do a dating show for you. Do I have... Oh, chat, do I have women friends? Like real women, not VTubers? Fuck, I gotta find some. I'll go find some. I'll go scouting. Okay? He said, dude, I would ace it. But the thing is, I don't want to do like a little dating show. Like I'm just like, ooh, here's girl number 3 behind the door. Nothing like that. I want to send you on a task. Okay? I want to send you on a task and we see how it goes. Boone, I have an idea. Oh, okay. I'm going to type this to you because I don't want to ruin it. Hold on. You're gonna like this idea. I got a really good idea. Okay, okay. I've got... Boone, don't leak the premise. I'll tell you what he said. He said, "This is like a Stanford prison experiment." I'm in. Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good. All right, Boone, hold that thought. Hold that thought for later. We're gonna do it. Okay. I like that, chat. I just, sometimes I'm somewhat of an idea guy. I think we got something good for you for later. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. You said you haven't been in a relationship for nearly a decade earlier, Boone. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Okay, because you've stewed on it so much, and we can get the greatest content out of it. It's good for me, because we can get really good content out of it. It's gonna be perfect. You're gonna love it, Boone. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. All right? It's gonna be incredible. Don't worry, I've legitimately done this with my brothers, okay? Trying to find them somebody. Trying to find them someone. The oldest one never thought he would find a companion that could match his freak. And I don't mean like he's like freaky. I mean like he's kind of like a fucking weirdo, But we got one, okay? We got one. And they're cool. They're like him, but not too much like him, We got one. So if we can get somebody for him, we can do it for anybody. Boone might have too much freak to match. No, Boone doesn't want that, though. He was crashing out in chat saying he wants a normal woman, okay? I gotta find the most normal people to expose you to. Yeah, he wants to offset his freak. Exactly. It's like, what actually, like, one of the best and funniest, but, like, best couples I've ever seen is... You guys know the comedian Piff the Magic Dragon? You know him? He has a wife? Are they married now? Or are they just engaged still? I think they're married now. He has a partner who, like, does some of his shows with him and everything. She's, like, a normal woman. She's kind of got, like, Vegas showgirl energy in how she looks. She looks like not at all what you think his partner would look like. And she's like, he himself outside of magic is very like withdrawn. He can be really funny, obviously. He's a comedian, like it's his whole thing. But he's like a quieter person, and she's like very boisterous, and she loves like her makeup and her hair and carrying their little dogs around and stuff. And just seeing them together, it looks really funny. But they work so well. They're genuinely one of like the best couples. I just don't know if there's a lot of like content with the two of them out there. I've seen some clips. They also did an episode of Queer Eye where he was the candidate. But you got to see a lot of her because she was the one who put him up for the show. Here, I'm gonna find a part of their show where the two of them are on stage together. I'm gonna point it out. And you're gonna see which one is his wife. Hold on, hold on. Okay, okay. All right, all right. I'm pausing it on like the second where you see him and his wife together. So Piff has this woman with like, she's like tan, beautiful long legs, all this stuff. Okay. And then there's Piff. That's his wife. Huge smile. She walks out like a showgirl and everything. Did you know that's not just his assistant? That's his wife. That was his girlfriend of like 10 years. And she did all of her shows, or all of their shows together. She comes out with Mr. Piffles, like holding him and stuff. I didn't know for the longest time that they were together, and then I actually saw him in a show at one point, and he said something about them being together, and I was like, what? And then I went and like looked it up, and I found some content of the two of them. She's like a really like nice woman, but she gives me like New Jersey, like Jersey Shore Italian woman vibes, with how she's like a bit louder, not accent, but like she's a bit louder, and she's very forward, and she's like, oh, you look great, love your hair, you know, like she's one of those. It's just like, it's a funny duo. I like it. They really like balance each other like crazy. The hot wife I got by being autistic. Yeah. Would you say, Boone? I either want normal, or like some weird girl who makes Sonic or Nightmare Before Christmas their entire personality, but they can't be fucking insane. Okay, Boone. Girls who make Sonic their personality still have a chance of being normal. They might just find it cute. Girls who make Nightmare Before Christmas their personality, always insane. Always insane. Do not. Red flag, back away. The Sonic thing, though, could be okay, because there are a lot of people who just find it cute and really love, like, Chow specifically. They're like, I love cream and cheese because cheese is so cute, you know? Even me, like, I'm not, like, the biggest Sonic fan, but I'm like, yo, cream and cheese, my favorite. Cheese is goated. He's the greatest character of all time, right? Because he's cute. He looks like a little fucking, little Chow, you know? So that could be all right. What about Has-Been Hotel? No, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say red flag. Red flag. It's one thing if they watched it and were like, that was pretty good. But if that's their personality, I don't know. No. I think you should avoid it. GEEGA getting canceled. That's okay. That's okay. People got upset that I didn't like mouthwashing. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's okay. That's just Nightmare Before Christmas for Zoomers. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't know if this is a real message. You said, Geeks, my wife gave birth to my beautiful baby boy last night. Can you babysit for an hour so I can have a sandwich and a nap? Okay, either this is a joke that you're posting. I think it's a joke because you tend to like type crazy shit. Or you've outed yourself as the worst father of all time. So either you're lying and your jokes aren't very good, or you're the worst father of all time. Please tell me which it is, James. Please, thank you. No, I am exhausted. Okay, well, on the 18th, you came to chat and said, hello. Today I had my eye removed. As squamous cells had spread from my sinuses, I was a bit down, but then noticed you were online. Now, this could also be real, but you have this habit of coming here and dumping some sort of, like, medical happening. Maybe it's real, but maybe we could just come here and talk about, like, Sonic or something. No. You're scaring the hose. You're scaring the hose. Been a long month, yes. So you got one eye and you're the worst father ever? Here's what you do. Here's what you do. Here's what I want you to do. You get a little mini calendar thing. If you don't have one, you get a piece of paper and you make one. Okay? And this is what you're gonna do. You're going to write out an hour every single day. This goes for anyone who ever has a newborn ever. You're going to write out, schedule in an hour every single day where you make sure that for that entire hour, there is not a single chance that the mother has to deal with the baby at all. At all. No matter what. She's not allowed. She's not even allowed to check the baby monitor. That's you, okay? And that's when she gets to take a shower and do like normal shit. Okay? For the record. If anyone ever ends up with like a newborn. And that's minimum. It should be more than that, but I'm just saying. Minimum. It should be that. And this is assuming like she's home, but you're still working because you don't get maternity leave, right? Paternity leave is nothing. You know, if you're not working either, then fucking, you know, you should give her a lot more time than that. But, you know, you have to at least, that's the minimum, do that every single day so that she can, like, shower and eat, you know, or just lay down, even if it's a micro nap, whatever it is. You know, more than that is great, but yeah, do that. 6 weeks of surgery leave, dude, that's the best. I regret when I did my surgery, I should have not come back to streaming so soon. I should have just laid down. And just sat in bed for longer. But I was like, I have to work, right? So I got up from the bed and propped myself up in my chair and was like half slumped over because I couldn't really like tense my muscles to keep myself up. So did I tell you guys this? I literally strapped myself to my chair to like hold me up so I didn't have to use my core muscles for it. Because I was fine sitting up straight, but I would like not very straight, but like sitting up in a chair, but I would slowly slide. And then if I wanted to like lift myself up, I would have to use my arms. I couldn't really tighten my core to do it, you know, because I was still recovering. I had multiple incisions. It was like left, right, up, down, like every part of my abdominal muscles were affected in some way, right? So it wasn't like I had like an incision on one side or, you know, whatever, like everything was affected. So I couldn't really like use those muscles at all while recovering to you know, I would tear shit. So I would use my arms like to like lift myself up, and it was really annoying to do constantly. So I got this lumbar pillow and put it behind myself in this one spot. And I wore you know, belly bands that like a pregnant woman wears. It looks like a corset, and they wear this thing to like hold themselves in afterward. I had one of those just for like a little extra support, like just to hold me, you know, together. And then I had like a bungee cord that I put like around my rib cage, and I like strapped myself to the chair, and it helped me from sliding down. I did it like that so that I could like stay up nicely and not like slowly slide. It actually worked really well. It wasn't like tight either. It was just enough to like not let me slide down, you know? It worked pretty well. Because I was like, there was pain, but I could talk. Like sitting there and talking and being on stream didn't like make me feel any worse. But I look back and I'm like, I should have taken a longer break. How long was I even out? Let me look. What was my post-surgery break? I have to go look at it. Never realized it was that bad. I didn't tell anyone what the surgery was even like for. I was like so vague about it. So, you know, you wouldn't have known. I still streamed 71 hours that month. Oh my god. Right? Or no, was it the year before? Fuck, when was it? When was my... Oh, no, it was end of January that year. Let me see. Let me go back. Let me go back and look. Let me see. Was it 2023? Now I can't remember. Why can't I remember? Am I dying? It was around the time we started talking that you were prepping for surgery. Yeah, because it was end of 22. That's why 22 was in my head. It was the end of 22 that I was like doing all my scans and shit. And yeah. Okay, let me go back. Let me see. I'm gonna check break length. Oh, I gotta click so many times. I'm gonna find it. Is after you had a brain tumor removed, your left side was out of commission while the brain swelling went down? I used to have to grip something with my right arm and strap my torso to things. Oh, yeah. I had a friend deal with something like that. Yeah. That shit was crazy. Early GTA days? No. This was GTA was the end of that year. This was early that year. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Oh my god. I streamed on January 24th. Stream title, The Last Supper. And then I streamed again 12th of February. That was not long. Oh, yeah, I should have taken a bigger break for that. Yikes, dude. Oh, she said all I remember was GEEGA telling me, you might not have to mod anymore. Sorry. Oh, God. Right after you played Outer Wilds. Yeah, I made sure Outer Wilds was like the last, one of the last things I played before I left. Yeah, no, I had the surgery within the next few days and did my thing. Yeah, shit, I was back within 3 weeks. Yikes, dude, yikes. I think I was just excited to be able to talk on stream and be able to breathe with my diaphragm. I think that's really what it was. You know, because I was like, oh, I can breathe now. That's so cool, you know? And I was just like, I would like to do that. Yeah, you said 23 because Hark had COVID at the same time. Oh my god, that's right. Yeah, she got fucked, dude. I still feel so bad. I know it's been it's been like 2 years, but I still feel so bad because she had so much planned and then she got like fucked. She had bronchitis pretty bad and then following up that got COVID and then got bronchitis again and then had to deal with like she had really bad long COVID symptoms, so that's kind of like a big factor of her being out for so long. Because she could like sit at a computer and exist, but talking, breathing, like it was just rough. So it would literally be like 6 months later and I'd be like, you want to get back in the saddle, how you feeling? And she'd be like, yeah, you know, something. She'd be talking and then like 15 minutes into the call she'd be like, I need to lie down, it's hard to breathe. And I'd be like, oh my god, like she really was affected. It's gotten better, but still, you know, I think it wasn't just the COVID, but it was the bronchitis at the same time too. Just was like so rough, man. There's a lot. I don't know. I have been seeing her back a little bit here and there though, so that's been nice. That's been good. I think she's still affected, but feeling a lot better. You started doing long COVID research at your job. That shit shows up neurologically in scans? Ooh, how so? How so? Do you mean like damage from it? Or do you mean like, you know, it's like, oops, I dumped all this protein in this spot. Like, how does it show up? I know a lot of people have cognitive issues in various ways. So a memory thing, like forgetting certain words in a way an elderly person might lose the word here and there, seems to be pretty common in people with bad long COVID. So I know that's one that's like really prevalent in a lot of people. Long-term heart health effects. There's a lot, but those are the ones that I've like heard the most. And then just breath, right? Like just feeling out of breath very easily. Memory and focus hasn't been the same since you had it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying focus issues from having COVID, just like never really went away. Oh yeah, Henya's sense of taste is still fucked. That's another one. A lot of people lose their sense of taste while they had COVID. They would lose it. But she didn't really get hers back. So that's a huge one. That's crazy. Your friend's still dealing with breathing issues like 3 years later. Yeah. That's what I was saying, like with Haruka, she had a lot of that for a long time. And I would try to not like snap at people online, because usually they were just asking. They weren't being mean about it. Usually they were just asking. But people would like ask about Haruka constantly. And they'd be like, when's she gonna stream again? And I'd be like, she can't breathe, you know? like obviously it's better now, but for the longest time, like it was just straight up impossible, you know? And I was like, oh my god, I would see it constantly, and it was getting so annoying. And I do understand, though, a lot of people aren't watching every minute of every stream, you know, so they're not all like up on the lore, so you can't be like mad at everyone, right? But yeah, it's just like ad nauseum telling people she's okay, you know, she's just going through it. That's rough. That's rough. I lost my sense of taste because of COVID. I know, because I ended up enjoying Dark Souls 2 somewhat. I loved 2. I'm not gonna say it's better than the others, but I loved 2. Okay? Alright? Man. Remember to get it vaccinated if you can. Yeah, get the jab. Do it. Yeah. I think the most important thing is that, you know, all it took was a pandemic for people to realize that they didn't know how to wash their hands. And finally, you know, many years after hand washing with soap was, you know, a thing, people finally figured out how to wash their hands. I do think, however, we have still regressed, and I've noticed a lot of people still don't quite know how to wash their hands. So it'd be nice if they could get that together. But, you know, hey, at least people kind of figured it out a little bit, maybe. We have regressed. It's bad. It's bad. I know that people need reinforcement to like stay up on certain things, but you would think the hand washing thing being big for at least a year would be enough for people to remember it forever. So I am floored that people have regressed so much. You know what it means? You know what it means? It means they don't want to. And they just don't want to. They just don't want to admit it. They don't want to. They genuinely don't think it's important, and they don't want to. Can't be asked. It's not that they actually fully forget. They're aware. They don't want to. Okay? And I wish they'd stop lying. Just say it. Just be like, I don't want to wash my hands. I think it's okay to be disgusting. They're just, you know, just admit it, right? If I need to wash my hands, what soap would I use? Well, we got a new one with grit at Cheeky Soap. You can go to usecheeky.com/GEEGA, and you can get one with a little grit in it. It's vanilla bean ice cream scented or flavored, whatever you fancy. And you can have a little grit in it, a little something so you can exfoliate your hands. All new, not limited, for the record, not limited. All new. You managed not to get COVID despite your husband getting it twice. I will say, there's a chance you had it and just were asymptomatic. Even if you think you didn't get it, there's still a good chance you actually did. It was in you. You just didn't show symptoms. Maybe the viral load was not enough for you to have symptoms, or you just naturally were a little more resistant to it and you didn't have to worry about it. But there are people who have some mild long COVID symptoms, even though they never had regular big symptoms. That is a thing. Maybe a little less common because usually you need a lot of viral load to really affect you like that, but still, it happens. So I think everyone should assume that they got it. Treat it like the common cold. Everyone's got it at some point, right? A good old rhinovirus, a good old norovirus. Ooh, when you got the vaccine, it was not fun. You went through this list of side effects like it was a checklist. Yeah, you know, anytime I ever got a shot for anything, any sort of vaccination or whatever, I used to always be fine. But as of 5+ years ago, anytime I got any shot, my body does not handle it well. Not anymore. And I'm like, I don't know, is this an age thing? Is this like maybe I had COVID and now post-COVID it's a thing, or what? Or, you know, it could be anything. But I feel like anything I've gotten, even like the normal flu vaccine I got the other year, because I just really did not want to get sick. My immune system is not as good as it used to be too, just because I don't go outside anymore. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I should get the flu vaccine because I don't trust my body will just fight this stuff off, you know, like it used to. But when I get a shot, I like really have issues with it. I get a lot of symptoms. I often pass out a little bit, either full pass out or like I have to sit down for a long time after getting it, which I never used to be an issue for me. But now I do. So it's just interesting. It was never a thing before. I used to never get sick, never have issues. Like, you know, immune system was great. Needles, shots, never had symptoms from anything, you know, whatever. Now it's like the opposite. yeah, my 5G got turned on, dude. Sleeper cell activated. I don't know, man. I don't know, but it was like a switch. You know, I will say along with it, it's also, it started before this, but it also is in line with me being a streamer and doing my other work less or not at all. So being outside less and seeing people less, my immune system is just exposed to less. So that could very well be a part of it. But it started happening a little before that. So I'm like, you know, could be, maybe not. Not sure. Could be related to the problem you've had. Maybe very well. But that was later. Like we said, that was like 2023 and beyond that I was dealing with that. Yeah, because my surgery was like late January 23 to have my shit taken out. But still had, you know, follow-up treatment and follow-up care after that. And you know that shit takes you out. So who knows? Who knows? Any of the newer shots put you on your ass? I used to get like flu shots and things pretty often because I'd be, you know, like going around the city and being really active around places with people, and you know, so I would just get it to make sure I'd be okay. And I felt like they were nothing. I felt like I would just like sleep a little harder that night that I got it, and then I'd be fine. But yeah, now I get taken out for like 2-3 days and I feel like shit and I throw up and I'm like, you know, like, I'm literally like crying, throwing up on the bathroom floor, like, you know, the meme, just sitting there and be like, ooh, and like from like a little shot from nothing, you know. Be glad you have an immune system. Yeah, well, it's not the suffering Olympics, so I will complain all I want. I'll complain all I want. Second COVID vaccine you got a migraine for 48 hours. Ooh. Yeah, I think I got headachy. But I wouldn't call it a migraine. Not like that level, for sure. For sure. Did you tell your doctor that? I tell my doctor everything. Nothing gets past them. I have to go back soon. I gotta do more blood tests. As always, we're always doing blood tests just to like you know, regular screenings. I have to do them for like 5 years. You know, remission is like it's a solid 5 years of you. We must see nothing for 5 years before we can say you're like cleared or cured or whatever. But then I need to, there's other stuff that I need to do too. There's other shit that I want to get checked out and everything. You know, I'm old. I'm old, so I'm like, I want to do this and I want to do that, and, you know, everything. Your dad has to go and get his lymph nodes checked. Yeah. Yeah, I've got one that's I could like feel it. I've got one in my neck. I could put my finger on it and I could feel it. If I turn my head and look in the mirror, I can like see it. Little bump. Stuff like that. But we weren't that concerned about it because it's not like, you can touch it and move it around. It's not like glued to the spot it's in. If it feels like it's glued to the spot it is in, then like immediately they're like, holy shit, it's cancer, you know. Not always, but often. This one moves around, so we think like, I don't know, maybe a little blocked, maybe a little funky, I don't know. Maybe we just leave it like we have been and monitor it. Maybe I say, hey, cut this bitch out of me, you know, or whatever. I don't know. So I gotta get that looked at. Potentially cut my neck open and pull that lymph node out, because I don't, even if it's just like blocked and it's a little weird, I like don't trust anything in my body, you know, like I've been there, and I know my blood tests have been like, yeah, we don't see CK25 and, you know, inhibin A and B and all these things, we don't see them, your levels are not raised. I'm still like, maybe we should just cut everything out of my body. You know, like the moment something looks bad, I'm like, get rid of it. Because I'm in, you know, I've been through that, so I'm like, maybe we should just like throw it out and get a new one. Maybe we should just get a new one. You know. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. Someone said, does your doctor know about us peepo shy? Hey, I don't mean this in a mean way. You all are not part of my personal life. Okay? I am not bringing you to the grocery store, to my family, to my doctor. No. I take the mask off like Catwoman taking her mask off, okay? You know that meme of like that kid taking his Spider-Man mask off to his dad and being like smiling? He's like, you didn't know it was me. That's me at the end of stream, okay? Have you ever seen that one? Hold on. My son. Let me see if I can find it. It's a really good video. I just don't know. I don't know if I can find it. It was really good. It was really, really good.
Just
I know
bought
Reddit
Cheeky
will have
Soap
it.
using code GEEGA and saved 10% on my order.
Ooh. I know Reddit will have this stupid video because all these parents post shit on there. Fuck, I can't find it. If any of you can find if any of you can find this specific video of this kid, he's like a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and he like pulls off the Spider-Man mask and he's like doing like he's smiling so hard, but he like feels evil as he looks at his dad because he thought his dad didn't know he was under the mask. If any of you can find that, let me know. It's a really good video, but that's I remember seeing it and I'm like, dude, that's me after stream. It's so good. The look on his face is like great. Here, past month, past year. I don't know. Maybe it was on Twitter. I thought Reddit would have the answer because they love to repost like videos of kids doing stupid shit, because I feel like everyone on Reddit is like an adult with a child or a bot. But they don't. I don't see it. This one, you have to post it in the Discord. You have to post it in the Discord because links don't work in chat. A kid thinks he's really using it. Oh, let me see if that one works. Let me see if this one works. Let me try this one out. Yes. Why is this black and white? Wait, where's the color version? Ah, whatever, whatever. Whatever. I want you guys to see this video regardless. Because it's... it's me after stream. Yeah, color wasn't invented when it was filmed. So true. So true. I really like this video. This is that time my son thought he was revealing secret identity to me. Look at him. Look at it. His fucking side eye is... Bro actually thought he was Spider-Man, dude. It's the slow reveal in the side eye. Oh. Dude, that's how I feel at the end of stream, man. That's me. This is just like the Rey Mysterio reveal. Oh, God. Yeah, the immersion. The immersion. The smile at the end is crazy. Oh my God. That's like every VTuber when they meet another one and they're like, actually, it's me. And then they're like, but like everyone knew because they talked. You know, they said 3 words and everyone was like, okay. So it's you, huh? Every time. Me when I'm the giggler. I'll bet you didn't know. I'll bet you didn't know I was the giggler. You didn't fucking know. What job do you say when people ask my old one? I just tell them I'm still at my job that I was previously. Because I never told them where I worked or anything. I was just like, oh, I just do this kind of thing. And everyone would be like, wow, sounds boring. And I'd be like, yep, yeah. Or they'd be like, I don't know what that is. And I'd be like, that's okay. You know? And that's it. So I just tell them the same thing because then they don't really ask. Or if they don't know anything about tech, I just go, you know, like computer stuff. And they're like, oh, yeah. Okay, that's cool. Do you like doing that? And I'll be like, yeah, it's, you know, boring. That's all I tell people. So you lie? I did that for 1 billion years, so doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I also did it while VTubing for the longest time, so you know, but also like I have to meet new people to have them ask what I do, and I kind of just don't, so I don't really have to say anything. Hi, Minky. Hi, Minky. Minky, you should do your hair like this. I think you actually, Minky, you would look really good with your hair like this. You would look real nice. It's Minkus. Minky, I miss you. Minky, come back. I don't really know where you went or if you even went anywhere, but Minky, come back. Come back now. I haven't heard your voice in eons. You know, our group chat, Minky, there's one with me, Minky, and Joel. It occasionally still gets use, and it is like the only group chat I've had that's lived this long. I have that and one other one of like a different group of friends that has lived for years. These are the only 2 group chats that have not died. Okay? And at this point, how old is this group chat? What is it even called? Did we rename it? Oh my god, I just searched for Foxy Joel like a fool. Oh, it doesn't even show when I search for it. Ugh. You telling me I gotta go scroll? I don't want to scroll. I know how to find it. I try to add you to a DM with me and Joel, and then it'll be like, you have this one already, and then I click on it. There it is. We were literally in here just the other day. Let me scroll back and see how old this group chat is. It's gonna be years. Yeah, we never know. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, it's going. 2022. Oh, she's going. My god. Wait. Holy. Okay, I'm still scrolling. We're in June 22. We really tell each other, like, everything. Like, all of our new projects, like, our models and stuff. Jesus. I'm looking back at it and I'm like, wow. We post a lot. Necro the group chat. We literally typed in here within the last, like, few days. There is no necroing because it's not... There's nothing to revive, guys. It never died. The group chat literally never died. When I say oldest group chat, I don't mean, like, going back and finding an old one that simply exists. I mean one that's used. This one is still used. Joel will be getting, like, a new thing, and he'll post it in there, and he'll be like, do you guys like this? Hi, Heavenly. Okay, now we're in 2021. My god. How old is this chat? Oh my god. I'm just gonna hit the... I unlocked the scroll wheel. What the fuck was that? Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I think we got Morse coded. I think we're all gonna die. I think we're all gonna die. It's over. I actually don't know what that sound was. So there's that. Was that like Murph's dad teaching us gravity equations? Is it that, or is Boris just hitting the Morse code switch? It's him pressing the button. It's him going. It's him doing this. You're on hold on a Teams call. So true, so true. So true. No, they're typing in the group chat and I want to go see it, but I want to see how old it is. I'm trying to figure out when we made it. That was Morse code for SS, so it's possible a digital snake has infected your computer. You know what it is? The people in this group chat are snakes. That's what it means. I have to kill it. I have to kill the group chat. They're snakes. Yes. Oh my god. Should have fucking known. Should have fucking known. It's cool because I know old people love playing Snake. I do love playing Snake, though. Snake was fun. I miss old pinball though. OG pinball. That shit was great.
Test.
Mm-hmm. You're part of the group chat. Does that make you also snake? Fuck. I guess so. Yes. I guess so. Snakes in the grass. Snakes in the grass. Oh, first message. July 2021. July 2021. It's been 100 years. It's been 100 years. My goodness. OG Pinball was the GOAT. It was. There's a new pinball game that came out. What's it called? It's like a rage game though, so I don't know if I want to. Don't know if I want to play it. I don't know if it's on Steam. It's like the pinball game that makes you mad or something like that. Is it on here? Maybe it's not. Ball Pit? Oh, I want Ball Pit to come out. Yeah, I played the fuck out of the demo. I did like Pinball Spire. Pinball game makes you mad. Was that the title of it? Oh no, it is on Steam. It is on Steam. Coming soon. Oh, so it's not out yet. It's not out yet. Okay, okay. Yeah, well, it's a game with a bunch of tracks and little pinball flippers, and you have to just get the ball through the course. So rather than being like a standard thing, it's like moving it through a track. Oh, Anna was playing it. I saw it on YouTube. It looked interesting. I want a pinball game, but I don't know if I want this. I want like normal pinball. just normal ass pinball, you know. I kind of just want that back. That's all I want. What I did want to play, I want to play Clover Pit. I had on my list to play, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna stream it. I don't know, but I do want to stream it. I haven't looked at it. I've been doing my best to like avoid watching people stream it, so I can go into it fresh. So I don't know like any of the mechanics yet. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Gamba stream goes so hard. Look. It's fake Gamba, therefore I love it. Did we finish baby steps? No. No, I got to this spot and I have the choice of taking the stairs or going the hard way. And yeah, we're on the man breaker and I did not finish it. I am gonna give my hand a break though, because my like hand and wrist are like just they're dying. Okay, they're dying. But we're honestly, I'm pretty good at getting up toward the end now. But there's this one bit at the end that I just don't know quite how to do yet. Like what to do there. I think I do, but it's really hard to execute. So they made like one really hard spot as one of your last little things. So, you know, so we'll get there. I'll do it eventually. So, for now, let's play Clover Pit. Also, I'll mention it now while I have your attention. The title says break time very soon. I'll post about it on Twitter as well and in Discord. But the plan is I'm going to stream again here on Wednesday. And then that'll be the last stream on main for a bit. Okay, that's when my break will start. We still have a collab with Henya, but I'm gonna like just put my POV on the alt channel, I think. So yeah, so we get tomorrow an alt, and then we get Wednesday on main, and then I'm just off. Yeah, it should be good. There's a lot that I have to do. It's not a vacation. No. There's so much work that I have to do. And it's so hard. There are also things that I want to like change, adjust, and I can't when I'm constantly streaming, because between this channel and the alt channel, I put in minimum 150 hours per month of streaming. Minimum. Often more. It's a lot. But I have things that I have to do on this unit. I gotta do some shit in the walls. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I have to do a lot of work with a lot of projects that are coming up that require me to like crunch time on it. I have voiceover work that I'm also taking on that I have to do, and that requires hours and hours and hours of time, sending stuff over, getting feedback, doing it again, all of that. So I need that. A lot of YouTube related stuff as well. Like a lot of YouTube related stuff that I want to do as well. So all of that I want to do very badly, but I need to have time for it. So I'm going to say, since I never, ever, ever take breaks from Twitch necessarily, I'll put that away for a short bit. It'll only be a couple of weeks. I don't have an end date because I'm not going to pick an end date until I get through some of it and I can accurately gauge when I need to be like, okay, this is fine to come back now. But yeah, I need to crunch time on so much stuff. And it's kind of like all these different projects all converging at once. So I'm going to do that. But it's getting a lot of, there's so much good stuff on the horizon because of this. There's so many good things that I'm going to work on and get finished now. So that is the good part. So I'll still be doing a lot of work, but I'm not going to do that work and be streaming 150 hours, you know, like I just think there's no way. I think there's absolutely no way. But yeah, it'll just take a really long time. And I also like on top of it, I just would like to have some time to make some YouTube videos again. And a lot of the time that people want to record with me, all these things are always coinciding with when I stream. It's just hard scheduling wise. So this will open me up to being able to do more of that. Right, Wolfie? That's right. He's staring. But yeah, there's so much. So I'm going to do so much of that stuff. And then there's also honestly like I wanted to take a break way earlier, but then all the VShojo stuff was happening. I ended up leaving the group and shit, and I was like, fuck, all right, well, I don't want to like stop streaming right there, you know. Like I didn't want it to look weird, you know. And then later then there was more, and I was like, oh fuck, now's not the time. You know. So I did that. And then since then there's been all this ongoing legal stuff in the background, and I'm like, well, I want to pay my legal fees and all this stuff, so I'm gonna make sure I'm like still streaming and all these things. It's just like delayed it a billion times, you know. So I think the break will also be good for that, to just relax. I still have legal things to take care of too, and just make sure that I'm on. So, you know, everything has converged. So I'm like, okay, best idea is to just like pick a day and be like, that's the last day for a little bit. Because I also have that mindset where I'm like, oh, I can't take breaks. Streamers can't take breaks, right? But then I look around myself and I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I see so many VTubers take like 1 billion fucking breaks, okay? And like no one cares. You know, like so many of them stream like 2-3 times a week. So many of them stream for 2 weeks and then they're off for 3, and then they stream for 2 and then they're off for 3. I see this so much and I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I like? You know what I mean? I do still like streaming consistently, so I'm not really planning on like becoming inconsistent. I don't think that's the answer at all. But yeah, when I have a lot to do, I'm just like, all right, well, if I gotta take a week here or there, it's whatever, right? It's not that big a deal. So yeah, I will be doing that. So again, Wednesday stream. Today, Wednesday stream. And after that, chill. You'll only see me on if I've got a sponsor I've got to do here, or if I am collabing and I really want the footage from my POV. I want to save that. Instead of hitting record, it's easier for me to like go to the alt stream and hit stream and just have the VOD, right? So those are the times you might still see me on Twitch, or if I'm in a collab with somebody and I'm on their POV, whatever. That's it, right, Wolfie? He just stretched against my desk and it was real cute. Don't jump up. Oh. Oh, Wolfie. He's a hot mess. And he's not graceful, and he trips a lot, so he falls all over stuff. So I have to take every drink and make sure it's in a bottle and not a cup. He's also blocking me. Otherwise, he'll just knock it over. Wolfie, stop. You'll probably be back regularly around Halloween. Yeah, no matter what, I'm not trying to take a month. It'll be a couple weeks. Probably that, let me look. Yeah, probably like that week of Halloween. I would be back sometime around then, maybe, but again, it depends on how long shit takes. Could be sooner, could be later. So, we shall see. We shall see. But there's a lot of really cool stuff that I'm excited for. And I'm gonna get a little more Discord focused. I'm gonna try to do some things in Discord, whatever. So if you're very community involved, there might be more things to do there, you know? Just saying. Just saying. Alright, let me open Clover Pit. I'm gonna close... Does Clover Pit have good BGM? Hold on, hold on. Hold on. Why is the game in Spanish? I clicked English. I clicked English. Oh. Hola. Okay, hey. Dude, chat, we can do this. Speak English. No. I'm not gonna close it. And I'm not gonna redo it. We're gonna get through this together.